Martin's shooting in Sanford put Florida's controversial Stand Your Ground law in the spotlight. Today, a task force charged with reviewing that law is holding its first meeting and getting public input along from Martin's parents. Our Ryan Raish is live in Longwood tonight, just a few miles from where Trayvon Martin was shot and killed. Ryan?
Yeah, good evening. It is no coincidence that the state decided to host its first task force meeting here in Longwood, just down the road from Sanford. The state felt it was a proper and smart place to begin its tour around the state. In its first real meeting with the general public, not many of the public showed up. But the 19-member task force seemed unbothered and began with a breakdown of the law at the center of it all: Stand Your Ground.
Now, since Stand Your Ground, there is no duty to retreat. This is a tremendous change in the law.
Judge Krista Marks was just one of a handful of experts to lend her analysis. The group heard from several different panels, including veterans of law enforcement, stared at blown-up visual aids, and got in questions. Plenty of questions.
Do you believe that the current law needs to be clarified in some manner?
The law probably does need to be cleaned up in some of the language.
The task force set aside the afternoon session solely to hear from the people. Some were blunt.
And we're all confused about this law.
Many demanded change.
We're asking that you look at this law, that you investigate it to the fullest, that you reform it at the very least, and if necessary, repeal it.
A handful brought up the very case that triggered this task force in the first place.
The Trayvon Martin murder brings home the very point why this law must be significantly reformed or eliminated.
Chair of the task force, Lieutenant Governor Jennifer Carroll, said at this point all options are on the table, but also made this point clear.
This is not about the Zimmerman case, and we don't want to make it that, because we want to stay unbiased and unfettered.
Now, this task force, like she said, is not about the Zimmerman case, but today the parents of Trayvon Martin still came out here, and coming up at 6, find out what their request was to the task force. Also at 6, here's some emotional words about Father's Day from Trayvon's dad. For now, live in Longwood, Ryan Raish, ABC Action.